Welcome back to another stream of us trying to turn Breezeway Cafe into a modern modular set. So we have loaded in the original Breezeway Cafe into Breaklink Studio, and we are now in the process of adding various features to it. If you're in the last stream, you may have seen that we added the pizza oven. That was the thing that we added in last time. There it is, hidden away at the back. Doing its thing with its vent coming out the side. And we also, in the stream before that, don't know if I can get inside to show you, I don't know. The stream before that, we put a staircase in and a little till section. So today we've got a couple of different options. Probably to do this top floor, which we've already made a start on this side. I'm also tempted to do some tiling, but part of me wonders whether that's the last thing in the process. There are a couple of things that concern me slightly about this kit. If it is supposed to be a modern modular, most of those modular buildings slot into the side of other modulars. So we can obviously put it on a mills plate and slot it in that way. But it's not going to be attached to any buildings, and I don't mind that. I think that's okay. It's just going to be a semi-detached type thing. I'm sort of tempted to put one way we could make it a more modular is we could make it like we could do this, which looks quite brave, but we could make this back wall a flat wall. There's not a lot going on this back wall, so there is a world in which we pull those all the way forward to give us real space to play with. And then potentially it becomes a corner modular. So that's a little bit of a scary prospect, but in that scenario you would be really creating a lot of emphasis on the sort of the beer garden area. Which I think is probably the way to go. But yeah, we really expand this front section out, add lots of details like little seats and paths, and then we have it so that I'll show you what I mean. We've got a half modular here and a full modular here. So this is the end product that we're going for. There we go, we've pulled them apart, successfully pulled them apart. The point I was trying to prove there was that they don't line up they don't always line up perfectly. So with the Jazz Club we've got like a little bit of a back here. Now for our modular, oh, wrong one. Although it's a nice zoomed in version, there we go, here we go. Now for our modular, if we zoom in, this back is probably going to be one of these sides. So there's a scenario in which this sits sort of here, and then there's a sort of a gap, and then the restaurant sits here with a sort of side alley. You know, maybe the side alley is this side here, possibly. Or, because we've shoved this all the way back, there's a scenario in which this just ends up being on it. This ends up being on its side. So you put another modular in here, and then this can sort of be a weird end modular. But if you were going to make it an end modular, you'd probably want to make it an end modular that way. I'm not sure you would want that side facing the street. this side facing the street would be okay, except if you've got your bins here, we might need to just think about how we might screen the bins off. Or possibly, we're probably going to have to build a fence all the way around the beer garden area. I'm calling it the beer garden, you know, the outside seating area. But I would quite like to give it a couple of different options for how it might fit together. So yeah, that's just something to think about. This side would, if you did want to put it on its side, that side would connect into there, and then it would stick out. So just to give it a couple of options for how it might fit into a Lego city. Yeah, cool. And if you look, the side of some of these official ones look a bit messy. So that's not designed to be visible. So right, we can carry on now. Carry on with the stream as normal. Okay. Ceiling. So I think we want, let's as a start just expand around what already exists. I think we're going to do on this side the same that we've done on the other side. Is that going to fit? Yeah, it is. By the way, if you're wondering why a part might be very expensive, it's probably because you can't buy it from Lego. So if they're sort of out of print. Okay. So let's see what we can do here with these arches. Let's see if we can create something quite fun across the back here. Some kind of feature at the top to make life interesting. Could we do something with that? Maybe. The risk is, with any of these arches, what I want to do with them is fill them in. So I'm here to create a kind of fun pattern. But what I absolutely, you know, let's give ourselves a base plate to work with, because it's just going to make life a little bit easier. Whatever I work with, I quite like, I want to fill in. I know it sounds a bit mental. So not only do I need to look at the arches, I need to look at how I might go about filling these arches in. So, oh, it's going to get exciting. But then I don't know where the stud would go in this scenario. Yeah, that's not going to fit. Okay, we need to rethink this whole strategy. So this back wall's going to have some kind of interest to it. I think it's going to have some kind of feature to it, because or be open backed. It could be open backed, and we could make the whole thing balcony. But I think it's going to need tighter pillars, or just something about it. But the challenge of that is, if we do want to do some kind of mosaic, we are quite limited by the fact that we don't have much to mess with in terms of space for the staircase. So like this back section could come forward, but this is going to have to be one brick width. One stud width. So this section's going to have to be one stud width for that to work. So it's possible for us to do some fun stuff. I'm looking at these plates. So you see what I mean? You could tile that up. We're getting into some pretty crazy techniques. But I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about that as an option. So we'd be getting more of these. I need to check whether Lego sells these. Because we're in a world of trouble if not. So No, I'm not. There they do. So they're 12p from Lego. Okay, that's fine. That's alleviated my concerns greatly. That means we're probably fine. We can use as many of them as we want without being scared that it's going to bankrupt the whole build. Bargain buy 100 of them. Shh, 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 shh. Do we put a fountain up here? I love a Lego fountain. Or do we put a fountain down here? I think... Right, I need genuinely, for those of you who are watching in chat, those a few of you, do you think we try and put some kind of fountain on the top of the balcony? Or in this, on the ground? It's a bit mad to put it on the balcony, isn't it? But then if it's just a little fountain... Yeah, I like this. I'm actually quite happy with this. So build up that side, and then basically what we're going to do is put this on there. Nice. Maybe a bit smaller. Maybe a bit smaller. Ah! Nearly 4 years and Frank's still hungry. He is still hungry. You're so right. How are you doing? Did I do it like that? Or did I have it up here? Oh no, I can't remember now. It's okay. Fair enough. I've got myself into a real bother here. Right, group them, just group that for now, because I need to mess with it. Yeah, it was that high. Cool. Right, I'm going to deal with that in a minute. Frank is actually here, right? I've got to put him on Frank cam. Let's get him on Frank cam. Mural. Right, we're gonna get to that later. That's on sort of hiatus at the moment because we need to go back to working out how we're gonna do this corner. The problem we have that we were discussing before I got distracted by everything else is that this does not reach across. So that's a problem. This is 6 wide. And we need something that's what, 10 wide? Yeah, 10 wide. Which means in order to do it, it'd have to be 2 5s, which is not going to work. Maybe use these. In this scenario, come on, behave. Really doesn't want to go on that square. There we go. God, that was hard work. That would disappear again and just get copied across as this. Closer to where we need to be. No, I was going to get rid of that, but actually we want this to be able to lift out so that you can access the bottom. Yeah. That's definitely the way to go. We've got a little bit of an issue here, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think this is fine. Buggers. We need to keep building this up. Let me just check something. So using bigger pieces is cheaper in this scenario, which is intriguing to me. So when it comes to bricks, we shouldn't necessarily be afraid to just slap really, really big bricks across here. Do we sell a 1x12? We do for 30p. Nice. Is that 1x12? 1 by 12. Haha, cool. We'll deal with that later. But yeah, I think I want to put a handrail around that. You can see the actual ceiling itself. It's got quite a long way to go. Okay. Like it's going to get higher than those arches. But the next thing, which is going to be really fun hopefully, is to design a bit of a sort of mural. Get this out of the way because we are just dealing with this for now. Go away. Right. Gosh, this is going to be interesting. Brace yourselves. This is going to get very spicy very quickly. Tiles. And rounded tiles. We are primarily dealing with yellows and reds. We do not have any blues. So I think we should stick to that. We should stick to yellows and reds. Yellows, reds, maybe some blue, and we've got the white as well behind. This is gonna be this is gonna be interesting to say the least. Tile art. I need to feed Frank, so I will be back in a second. Pachoo! Right. If this doesn't end up being symmetrical, I'm going to have some problems, you and I. I think it will end up symmetrical. I think that is very much the plan, that we're going to end up symmetrical, don't you worry. Right, let's have a zoom in. Let's look at some of the colours. Yellow. We've got these boys. That's kind of what I'm going for, I think. A pattern like this feels achievable. Or something like that, maybe. That's kind of what I'm after. Does that look like a lemon? There's another design of lemon. Oh, I don't know what I've just done there. That's kind of lemony. Oh, this could get very interesting very quickly. Maybe we should be focusing on more of a straightforward tile design. Something more like that. But I do like the idea. Jackson Pollock all over it. I quite like the idea of giving it a red outline. I don't know how I feel about this. This is definitely going to be one of the ones that's going to take a little bit of trial and error. So we've got lemon pattern. Lots of lemons. If that's to be believed, which I think it is, this pattern's dead in the water anyway now. Unless, yeah. So the lemon pattern, I think rejected for now. We start with the maximum number of lemons that we can place, and then start removing lemons. So now we've only got a few lemons. Is this kind of what we're after? Why can't... Well, I don't understand why they don't have this, like, consistent names for the colours. Oh, there's a colour guide. Aha, here we go. We need a reference. Bright bluish green. Okay. Bright bluish green is dark turquoise on Bricklink. Oh, okay. Not quite what I yeah, that's not what I thought it was going to be. I do wonder as much as the lemon pattern is quite good. Go back. I do really like the lemons and I want to incorporate them, but I'm just looking at this at the moment and thinking, is a more simple thing gonna work better? And then maybe just put some yellow in here, and I think forget the green, because blue is that like classic Italian sort of colour, but reds and yellows is much more where the set is, so it's kind of tricky. Give a lemon picture in reception. I don't know. Change the colour maybe. That doesn't exist in yellow. Okay, well, so much for that then. What have I actually achieved today on this stream? I don't think I've achieved anything. Trying to make a lemon painting is one of them. See, that doesn't look like a lemon painting. I don't know what that looks like. Oh, maybe it does. Maybe it does. Lemon painting. There we go. Yeah, that's all right. Oh dear. Hey! Don't you bite my Lego, mate. Well, that was something. Right, tiles. We got some tiles. We'll continue this design down here, which is these very bright colours, because we don't know until we try it. Frank seems to have settled down now after his little incident. Oh, this is getting confusing. So that blue loops around there. Somehow that just feels like it should be the dark blue, and I can't really explain why I think that's the case. Let's leave that for now and do a different pattern up here and see if we can fix it. Like, what if we just used 2 colours? Surely that will then... I just worry that yellow and red in this way is going to be a bit too... Why are you being weird? Come on. A bit, I don't know, just a bit garish. I think that's too... I think that doesn't look right in a way that this down here does. Yeah, burger restaurant, which is not really what I'm going for. Maybe it's what the original Lego designers were going for. I don't know. Now that suddenly looks more the vibe. That could be better. And then I don't know why it's not. There we go. We could make it an actual scene. What if we did something like this and made it look like an actual building? Does this look cool? I think this is probably the way to do it. Bright green, please. Rounded tile. No, I can't go there. But I think it does need the sun. I think unfortunately the only place the sun can realistically go is there. Which means you have to change this now to something else. Maybe just a white blob that looks weird. Dilemmas. Looks like cloud across the sun. I think that's cool. So we've got a couple of different options now. That's grand. Thank you. Group. How do you spell mosaic? I would do. Tile art. Okay, and then we're going to bring the tile art up and bring it across to here. Wow. Go down half a tile. You know what? I actually quite like that. I think I think that kind of works. This would be the alternative, which would be the sort of just coloured pattern. But I think this works well. Oh, that's really cool. Wow. It's very kind of Minecrafty, isn't it? So we've added a little feature into each of the corners. We still have the roof to do. That will come in time. And we still have to fix this, but I've actually got a plan for this. So I think the roof is going to carry on. Like, this is going to be open to the elements. So what I'm going to do is grab a plate that's... How wide does that need to be? Look at it over here. Don't need that. Right. And you're thinking, what are you doing there? This is what I'm doing. Lights. Look at that, lights. Yay. Like the ones down here. Although, maybe we don't do that. Is this like software dedicated to making Lego builds? It absolutely is. Welcome in, Barely Creative. This is software specifically designed for building Lego. Very, very cool piece of software. So that's what I'm doing. I'm designing a Lego kit. That's nicer. That's nicer. And we could potentially put some along here, because they do actually, the studs do fit in here. But we're going to leave that because that's, I think, too difficult to show on this particular piece of software. We are going to have to put these in. Pop those in. Oh, although if we do pop those in, maybe this is actually a longer one that just goes all the way across like that. Yeah, that's better. Oh yes, look at our Italian restaurant. As I say, I haven't quite figured out how we're going to fix that, but we will. To be honest though, that could just be, that doesn't even need to be plate, does it? That could just be like this piece, but not as long. Could just be, we'll get there in the end. This piece could just be straight across. Oh, but it isn't straight across. No, right, undo all of that. Because yeah, this doesn't need to be the same height as that. Yeah. This is just a courtyard. Nice. Maybe for now I'll just fill in the fence. I don't know what I just did there. Yeah, that might be okay. Or, oh, don't do that. Do that. But we don't really want to mess with this corner up here. Hello, Tom. How you doing? How is Southend doing? I think I'll work something out. Maybe we'll have like a plant. Like we've already got this plant, which to be honest, I might move right into the corner. Now this whole thing can lean, so it will lean. It will lean forward slightly. I don't know if I can even do that. Something like that, but not that. I think we leave those up as they are. Maybe put some flowers in there. Looks like it's 2 bricks high, yeah. Okay, so we have to make this 2 bricks high. But we might want to do that so that the lights... But I must say, I feel controversial. But I feel if you're going to put lights in, why would you just put the 1 in? You'd want to put 2 in. So now we're playing a dangerous game here. Yeah, I am kind of digging that as a structure. I like that. I think that just looks a little bit... it's hard to explain, but I just think more lighting down that side just looks a bit better. These down, there we go, lovely stuff. And then we want yeah, it'll be, no, that's not right. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Da 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 da. Now, one of the things I do want to think about is, like, if we want people to be able to get into that bottom layer, which I think is done via removing that plank there. Where is that plank? Hang on. Where is that connected to? Oh, you'd have to remove that. Okay, that's fine. Is there a scenario where we want people to be able to take that back wall off? Not really. Not really. That off. Or you can take that off. And then that's open from the front. Okay, that's cool. I think I'm fine with that. Look at that! Yes! Come on! I think that's where we're going to end it today. Next time we can tighten some of this up, do the outside. And also I'm tempted to do a bit of work on the floor on the inside. Because if you look at this kit, you can see that it's like 1 layer up, so we can tile it. And I think that might be quite good. So I might do that. And that'll be easier than it looks, because I think we can just pull this out like that and then tile it and then put it back in. So it's not as scary as it could be. You endure the terrace. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. So the original, so what we're actually doing is modernising this. So this is the classic set. Let me just make that a bit bigger. This is the classic set that we've taken and just made it, just sort of made it a bit more, bulking it out. So yeah, very much inspired by this. But I think this is going to become a bit of a series. We're going to take some old sets like that and just amp them up and hopefully have a good time at it. But I think that's probably going to be it from me for today. I've been going for a couple of hours. Don't have the stamina of some other people. So let's save this. Save. And I'll find someone to raid. I've got a sneaky suspicion I know who we're going to raid. Probably going to be Michelinio. Nice, nice, nice. Welcome in, Orion. Welcome in. Lovely to have you. But yeah, we're going to leave it there for today. Pizza oven, reception, terrace, and a beautiful tile. let's find somebody to raid. Have a quick gander. I hope everybody has a lovely week. I will be back on Tuesday to see. Lovely to hitch on at the part second. Yes, at the last second, I assume. So we've got people who are in the Lego channel, which I can see the appeal, but right now I'm going to leave Lego for now. And we're gonna see my mate Michelino. Have a wonderful week, people. We're gonna see what Michelino's up to. Big friend of the channel. And yeah, that's it. That's the end of the stream.